Hey there, I'm József Szabó from Nordic Mod Studio. Welcome to our second weekly devlog for Project Pandorum. Project Pandorum is a solo project of mine that I'm developing to bring one of my favorite movies to life as a PC VR game. First of all, I need to mention that this is a non-profit fan-made project that I plan to release as a few hours long free-to-play game. I have no plans to monetize it. With that out of the way, let's jump right into it. This week was quite a busy one. I have set up a few goals to achieve in this 5-day sprint, and I was able to reach all of them while also making minor tweaks here and there. The goals were simple. I wanted to successfully finish every possible corridor variant that I planned for the game. Last week I have finished the straight corridor and created a mirrored corridor cross junction. I wasn't really satisfied with the cross junction last week, as I felt like it was missing something, but I didn't have time to figure out what. As I looked through the reference images, I quickly realized what I was missing. Ladders. The movie has a rather interesting ladder design that I haven't seen anywhere else. I modeled it in a short afternoon after I figured out the math behind the shapes on the base and top. Then I added the ladder and cut out the floor to be able to add depth to the grids below the ladder. I am unsure if I make it climbable, as I don't really know how to do that yet. If I have time and feel like something is missing, I'll implement it. Let me know what you think in the comments. I threw a material to both, baked them, then imported everything into Unity. I was quite surprised how much it adds to the atmosphere with proper lighting. Tuesday I began to work on the elevated corridor that gives a bit of depth to the map. This was as straightforward as you can imagine. Just threw in 3 straight corridors, elevated one of them, rotated another, connected them, and it was ready for action. I tweaked the cables hanging from the fuse boxes in the middle, since it didn't really make much sense to have them hanging the same way as they do in straight corridors. With that done, I checked it out in Unity and it looked alright. I still feel like something is missing though. I'll see if adding junk and other props to the scene solves the issue later. Wednesday was all about the big, thick metal door that our protagonist will need to force open early in the game, just like in the movie. The plan was to take a straight corridor, cut out the side, insert the doorway and add a door to it. In theory, it's a 60 minutes job. In reality, it took me a whole day, as the doors shown on the images and seen in the movie are quite different. I decided to use the one seen on the images, as they were a lot more visible there. I also had to slap the wall design to the door, since they were pretty identical on the pictures. It took me some time to figure out the right scale, color and such, but it turned out okay. I imported everything into Unity and it looked fine. The door is not animated yet, and it won't be until I finish every necessary room. I'm happy with how it looks with a few quickly added light sources. Thursday I began to work on the straight cross junction. I decided not to add the ladder to have some diversity between junctions. Because of that, the tubes had to be manually arranged in the middle to avoid silly clipping. The tubes caused a bit of a headache at the beginning, as I had to connect them in a different way than in the mirrored cross junction, but I figured it out. By Friday, I was done with every corridor type I wanted to have in the game. I decided to give a final optimization check to each model. I was able to get rid of about 100,000 triangles in total, just by setting the floor and wall texture to repeating and removing unnecessary verticals. I had that in mind for a while, but I wanted to do it when I finished every case of usage. It surely helped with the performance, but that wasn't really an issue prior to it either. This was all the progress I've made this week. I'm proud of the results so far, but the more complex models are still waiting to be done. I plan to dedicate a whole week to each new room coming, as they need to be done from scratch. This concludes our second devlog for Project Pandorum. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, subscribe and let me know in the comments what you think of this week's progress. Stay safe!